Welcome to the Last Resort Sugar Detox. This is a free online course to walk you through your sugar detox and teach you about sugar addiction. More importantly, it will teach you how to make sugar freedom a lifestyle and not the same old yo-yo diet. Make sure you download the free book below as it corresponds with the videos and you can follow along. If you found us somewhere in the middle of the video series, don't forget to go back to video number 1 and watch the whole series and subscribe for weekly updates. Now grab your free course guide by clicking the link below in the show notes. Here's your next video.
Welcome back. You're doing great. It's good to see that you're following through. We're almost through our literal introduction of this because we're going to get to the actual course. We're in the actual course, but I mean, a lot of people are stressed about the nuts and bolts, about the food and the days and the withdrawals, and all that's coming up. But I wanted to get through this because I want you to know who I am and who you are in relation. Before I get to all that, I do want to stress that I do want you to check with your doctor before you get into this next section, before you actually, begin a process of eliminating sugar and flour from your diet. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, I've never heard of a doctor saying no, because I wouldn't understand the reasoning anyway if you decided that you just said you were going to go abstinent sugar and flour for whatever, 90 days or 20 days or whatever. We've never had a doctor say that that's not all right, no matter what circumstance someone's in. But do check, and it's important that you check. And it's a disclaimer that we have to give that we're not medical doctors, and we are not we're not diagnosing you in any way. But we've helped a lot of people do this. Never had any problems. But check with your doctor first, okay? So, the next section, addiction, craving, and willpower, okay? This section, I got to get through it because it just causes a lot of angst, if you will. Angst. People don't want to admit that possibly they could be an addict. I've covered it a couple times, but this is going to kind of drive it home. They don't want to say, I am a sugar addict. I am addicted to sugar. Now, funny part about sugar addiction and bread addiction or whatever is that people say this in a joking manner, right? Oh, I'm a sugar addict. Oh yeah, I'm definitely a sugar addict. I'm addicted to bread. But you'll never hear them say, I'm addicted to alcohol, or I'm an oxy, or I'm a heroin addict. They're not gonna. This is not a joke. When you're alcohol or heroin or other quote-unquote other drugs. It's never a joke, right? But seemingly, some way, people seem to still joke about the idea of being a sugar addict like it's not possible, right? I could introduce you to hundreds of people who were originally addicted to drugs, then were addicted to sugar and flour, and quit sugar and flour, and said it was harder to quit sugar and flour than it was to quit drugs and alcohol. So, I know it's doable. I know it's very, very real, and I want to stress that to you, okay? If you are in that 1/3 that we mentioned before, that 1/3 of the group who is addicted, possibly biochemically addicted to sugar, then kind of listen up, if you will, or if you think you might be. So nobody wants to use the word addiction, okay? It seems like a nasty word. As a matter of fact, the stigma reduction folks out there in the world, you can research this if you'd like, are actually starting to use substance use disorder as opposed to the term addiction. Or in addicts, they're trying to eliminate the terms addicts and addiction, which I support, by the way. I think we're a long ways from that. I think we're a long ways from actually that occurring, but I think it's a great idea. So, we can use the word sugar dependency, we can use sugar susceptibility, there's a lot of words we can use, but for you folks out there and the people that I've had the most success, strangely enough, the most success I've ever had is with people who came from the world of being addicted to drugs and alcohol, and then all of a sudden gained 30 pounds and came and asked me, Mike, can you help me? And they were very easy to accept this term, okay? They had been through this once before. If this is not your case, we do get a lot of people from the 12-step groups and like that, but if this is not your case, I understand completely. I've worked with probably 10 times more people who have not had that background. So those folks, you folks who are, struggling with this idea, okay, this idea of addiction, just let it go for a little bit. Let it light on you. Use the word dependency. I'm going to go into it in a minute here, but I believe that sugar is a very powerful psychoactive drug that is very subtly powerful, meaning it's like it gets its job done. In other words, it makes you feel just elevated enough, whether it's fighting off withdrawals or whatever, just enough to have you re-ingest, just enough to have you craving that. Now look, out there in the world today, and I can point you to all the studies that show where sugar lights up the brain in the exact place that cocaine does, the same pleasure centers, the same dopamine stuff is affected, the dopamine receptors, the same serotonin uptake stuff, all of it is affected in the same way as quote-unquote regular drugs. This is a reality, folks. We are going to come down as a group, you and I, for learning about this, studying about this on what they call, like I said, the right side of history. As the science grows, as the obesity crisis grows, as the diabetes crisis, and these are not crises, these are pandemics, as these things grow, it's going to evolve out in our lifetime that this was the correct thing. What you're dealing with, what I dealt with even worse back in the day, is that society hasn't caught up with these realities, okay? You're here learning about these realities from me because I have a background and experience in it. But you possibly are immersed in a family setting, a work setting, a friend setting, where these ideas are new, these ideas are not quite accepted, and you may be wrestling with it, okay? And I get it, I understand it, and I want to help you over that hump. So just for now, just for today, just accept that the possibility of what I've kind of rambled on here a little bit about is true, okay? Please do that, and we'll see you on the next video.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to download the free guide below and follow along. Just follow along in the series as the episodes are all clearly marked. If the next episode is not up yet, then make sure you subscribe so we can notify you when it drops.